Well, hello there, and welcome back to Armored Warfare. I'm Corny Swiss, and today this first part of the video is devoted to the PvE portion, which is new on the early access version of the game. And I guess I'll start off this video by saying that my thing, Armored Warfare, at the moment, I'm not that excited to post videos, but it has nothing to do with the game itself. And it's all like, and the things that are bugging me are things that, will be fixed, or maybe it's just me, but the reason that this PvE game is starting kind of an advanced position in the replays, because for some reason I was having massive frame drops. Like, I would go from, for me this game sits on pretty good settings at about 30 FPS, about 28, 29, 30, somewhere in there. And I have a good PC. My graphics card is out of date. My CPU is out of date. A lot of my stuff is out of date. But hopefully I'll be upgrading at the end of the summer. That'll be cool. I'm going to build my own computer. That should be really awesome. But sometimes I just have massive frame drops, and this is one of the few games that's ever happened to me. Actually, it's the only game where that's happened to me. But then again, this is very early development stage, so that's likely not actually a problem. Also, in addition to that, the more crippling reason is that for some reason in some games I play, my ping will be something in the 500 plus. It won't drop below 500. And then some games it'll be below 100 and stay there for the entire game. I usually play these games, War Thunder, World of Tanks, World of Warships, at sub 100 ping, and that's just what I play at. I usually play about 80 to 90 ping. This game, it's like it depends what game I get into, kind of. Which can be irritating when I have to pre-fire a corner because someone's about to back out and I need my shell to actually hit them. It gets a little harder. This PvE game was played at sub 100 ping, which is nice. So, those are some issues I'm running into with the Armored Warfare early access. Some games are borderline unplayable, some aren't. But I must stress that is not likely to be, like a problem with the game. I think it's just more, it might just be my internet, not the most reliable thing. There's countless things it could be, and you shouldn't judge a game based on that, especially this early in the development stage. But in this PvE game, I kind of got pinned. I kind of got into a rough spot. That's a rank 5 tank. There's rank 5 tanks in this game. It's just not good for me. Put a shot into him and then I get taken out. So we're going to move on to an actual game where I'm driving around my M60. That was a T62 PvE game. So other than my ping issues and my frame rate issues, so, Armored Warfare, it's between this and the previous early access, it's very much the same. There's not a lot to report on. They've added some new high-tier tanks that I'm not going to get a chance to test. And we still have the problem where some people have kind of rushed down the trees so fast that no matter what game I get into, this being the one exception of the handful of games I've played where I end up being top tier. And I've played enough games where it's a consistent problem. So that's kind of unfortunate, but there's been times when I've been playing my rank 3 and I've been pulled into rank 6 games, which, I don't know, doesn't fit normal matchmaking, I feel. But, suffice to say, other than all that, it's pretty much where it left off. The big intro, I guess, was the PvE stuff, which is cool. I like the idea of the PvE stuff, because sometimes you just don't want to play against players. Sometimes you do just want to kill bots. And you can certainly kill bots, but they're not dumb, and they actually have difficulty settings, which is nice. You're not stuck just killing mindless bots over and over again, which is nice. But, as it stands, Armored Warfare plays very similarly to World of Tanks, and that's kind of what you expect. You know, there's really only two ways to do tank simulation games, and they chose the health pool one, which happens to be what Wargaming have done with World of Tanks. So this game and World of Tanks are gonna draw comparisons once this game reaches a kind of finalized development stage, which it's not at yet, and it won't be for some time likely. But, you know, it's a cool thing to track. It's definitely a change of pace. It's definitely something worth giving a try when this game does go full free to play, you know, full release, open beta, whatever they're going to do. Because there's just a lot of interesting mechanics that they're trying to implement, and I don't know enough to talk about it further, but suffice to say, I think this could be really interesting. But what's happened in this game, the thing about Armored Warfare is you generally win really hard or lose really hard, and this game was no exception. We kind of just overwhelmed the flanks. The enemy are mostly confined to the city. We have a Leopard 1 rank 4 tank sitting way back here with no armor, much like the one in War Thunder, and I'm just going to pound it with some AP shells. But the enemy are completely surrounded in the town where the cap circle is, and are kind of just getting run over. There's not really going to be anything they can do about it. We control the flanks. We have every avenue into the city covered, and they're not going to be able to get out of there. Which, I mean, is kind of what you want from when you encircle the enemy. We're basically encircling them. We have light tanks. We have some main battle tanks brawling it out in the city. We have myself and another, I believe, M60 out here on the flank. I'm about to try and cut in, but I'm going to realize that this hill is slightly steeper than my tank can climb, which is awkward. I will eventually figure out how to get up here, but this was certainly a little bit of an adventure. But yeah, Armored Warfare. Issues aside, you know, this is certainly a game that I feel is worth attention when it moves into full release, and it's very difficult to judge, like I said, because it is so early in this development stages. But the addition of PvE is cool. The PvP, you know, it's basically the same as it was before. Nothing new to report there. Hard to believe I missed that shot, but I did. Maybe I should have aimed it better. The RNG about the guns is much stronger in this game than it is in War Thunder or World of Tanks. But, you know, solid little win. That's kind of the typical Armored Warfare game I'm finding, at least for me. It's when you win, it's usually like an 11 tank blowout, you know, 15-4. And a lot of it seems to be determined by what happens very early in the game, rather than what happens very late in the game. So, yeah, solid game. I think I finished 4th in damage, which, you know, is one of my earlier games because our progress basically carried over. So I have my M60, my T62, you know, and I'll be grinding my way up for a Leopard 1, the T64, and I'll make videos on those tanks when I eventually get to them, if I get to them. But anyway, I want to thank you guys for watching. I've been CornyBros, and I'll see you next time.